All right, so this is update number 13. Make sure that my mic is recording properly. Yes, this is update number 13 for Edgerun. So I just want y'all to look at this. This is a blank terrain, right? And this is all started with an idea. So the date of this picture, right, is June 10th. So you can see this is June 19th. Look at the title, The Stretch. So randomly, I had the idea that, you know what, I want to build a stretch. So obviously, I started a new terrain, right? And what I've been doing using Google Maps, and I kept this under wraps. I want to reveal my big thing. This is like the biggest, one of the most maps I'm most proud of. So as you can see, I started with, using Google Maps and, start with the big roundabout in the middle and start creating it, right? So now if you go to here, so what I've been doing is, just been on Google Maps and I've been mainly using a lot of Street View, right? Make sure it is the most up-to-date Street View. And yes, I started all the way back here by Rams and Fish and Chick and I just had a random idea that, you know what, I want to build a stretch. I don't know, I just had a feeling that, yes, I'm a Grenadian developer, and there's no map that really represented Grenada. There's cars that are, very common in Grenada, like, the Altezas in there. I put the Swift in there, cars are very, very popular and very, very common in Grenada. But there was no map, there was no visual environment of Grenada. So I wanted to change that. And I said, what better place would there be than one of the most recognizable places in Grenada? The Stretch, Morris Bishop Memorial Highway, right? So what did I do? I built the stretch. I built the stretch. So let's just break this apart. So this took me 9 days to build, and I went into I spared no detail, right? I went into all detail. So let's break it down from the back. I'll go in all the way up. So what I did, this is more of not a direct recreation, but an inspiration. Because obviously, getting the exact assets or making the exact assets would not only take me a lot of time to find them or to make them, but oftentimes when people just do just care about the map, they don't really care about the scenery. So let's show you. So I'll show all the Easter eggs and everything. So starting here, we have Fish and Chick. Next to Fish and Chick, we have Rams. My brother Julio is in Rams, so I always put his car right there. I have the sign. Sate I didn't put like the distances, but Sate is Granatang, St. George's, BC Beach. The sign right there. I made like the shy cane, I think you call it, and the yield sign. This is like Rebelicious, and then going up here, there's 1, 2, right? But let's just stick to this side first. So starting here, Republic Bank. So see, you have like outside. So if you see, look how it looks here, and then let's go to Google Maps. Let's go to right next to Republic Bank. Make sure it's the latest date, I guess, and then let us see. Yeah, see more dates. It's the latest date. There you go. Republic Bank. You can see the building, the sign, Public Bank, building, sign. It's just a small things. Republic House, you know, Republic House right there. Head office, retail banking, yeah. So you'll see that as a trend in this map. I definitely wanted to go into detail, but certain things, I skipped out of because, they just wasn't really needed. So for example, next to Public Bank, as you can see, if you keep going up, there's like this big opening right here, and then after the big opening they have like a bunch of cases and stuff. Certain things are just skipped, and I just went for like the main buildings on the stretch. So let's go through them. So you have Republic Bank, you have Ace Hardware. If you keep going down, you have Huggins, you have Nissan, all the stuff on here, just like how it actually is in real life. This is Little Food Place right after Huggins. So if I were to keep going up, so just speed past this, past Ace, See, there's Huggins again. There's it, Nissan, all the signs and everything. And I made the little food place right there. I just used some couple assets that I already had. After there, we have Ramdani's. After that, we have the Grand Aunts Baptist Church right there. I have L&M right there, place where you get all the gas and stuff. You have the little courts, right? You know, you have the oh, my screen is tearing. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's a GPU error or whatever, but yeah, it has little courts high up the road. If I could get to there faster, I don't know why my computer is doing that. Yeah, see, I just skipped. Wow, okay, that looks horrible. I don't know why my screen is doing that, but let's just skip that. Yeah, so the little courts here, and then they have Sherwin Williams right there, and all the little they have the dealerships in the back of Sherwin Williams, all the signs, independence agencies, you know, the sign right there. You have McIntyre Bros, all their different cars they have and stuff like that. Um, and I just did signs for places that are inaccessible. So obviously go inside here is True Blue. If you go down here, here's Khalees, and they go into the airport. There's Chillaxin. Have next to Chillaxin, have a look at building going up next to Chillaxin. These are all the back of the industrial park because you could see like when you're on whoa, where even am I? When you were actually on this side, so right here, and you look across, all you see is like the back of the buildings, right? So I have all the back of the buildings. Going forward, I don't even have to speak on that. You know, Selena works in GIDC, and her favorite car is a Jeep. So obviously, you gotta park up next to herself. And this is something that I really liked. So if you all look here, but let's actually go to real life. I don't know why again my computer's the screen is doing that weird tearing thing. But if you were to go lower down on the stretch, go lower down again, and look across. As you can see, this is what I call the lonely donkey. This donkey has been there for years, and whenever you see it, it's always just there with this bucket and the big tree, and I always feel sad for the donkey. It's just there by itself, lonely. So of course, maybe in the real world, the donkey is lonely, but in my world, the donkey is not lonely. No, the donkey has a whole family, so it could share its life with. So the donkey has a whole family. So then going down, and a lot of places, you know, I just got like, you know, the important signs. Like there's G4S. I know there's a gym inside here, Total Fitness. If you keep scrolling down, there's a couple houses. I just took random assets. Um, there's a brewery. You know, there's my brother Josh's car because dad works in the breweries. There's, you know, Josh's car and there's car brewery. And then going on here, inside here is where like J Gardens and stuff is and where the Owl's Nest used to be. You have Rubis. And then if you look across here, you have Grand Anse, so you have CK's right there, and you have Movie Palace right here. And yeah, so this is pretty much it. And the whole thing of this map, I made the map to be like a traffic rush. So this is like 4 o'clock traffic on a Friday afternoon. So I bumped up the speeds of all the cars. So all the cars now go pretty quick, and all you need to do is just avoid them and make it to your destination. And also made it so when you bunks the cars actually explode and pitch away. So let's do this thing together. Let me see which car that I currently have. I'll have to go and select another vehicle. Oh, my super perfect. Let's do this. Also made the cars bigger and I changed the angle of the camera so you can see everything better. Oh, the game just lagged. The game actually just lagged. The game actually just lagged. That's crazy. But as you can see, it works well. They can't go through the barricades or nothing. And when you hit cars, they explode and pitch away. I love the sound of the Super. When you hit cars, they explode and pitch away. Yep. So yeah, so this is the stretch, and I can't wait to put it ready for public use. I just again making sure it's tested and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and I can't wait for everyone to play and enjoy the stretch. But yeah, there you go. And all of this started simply from an idea, just from an idea. All this started from, yeah, proper things.